Arcturians, allow me to tap into this video in such a way that does not instigate bad vibes from the spiritual community, but allows me to express myself in such a way that feels authentic, sincere, insightful, practical, relevant. Arcturians, lead the way. Shout out to my Arcturian soul fam. Anywho, a lot of people have this idea that a spiritual awakening comes with it, isolation comes with it, like you're shaking off reality in such a way that leaves you alienated from the rest of the world, because if you're awake, that's because you were once asleep. And if you're awake and everyone else is asleep, then you are now isolated. Inara. Meow. Thank you for the meow, Inara. Thank you for the meow. Our girl Crowley might be here too for some meows. So the reason why you feel alienated during a spiritual awakening, and they happen all the time, a spiritual awakening is less a one aha moment as much as it is moments of your life where you realize you have gone next level. The reason you feel alienated is because the ego tricks you into believing that you are now somehow above everyone else. You are somehow this star-seeded soul who is awakened on a planet, and you're now tapping into the Akashic records. You are above the mundane reality of the physical world. You are above, the silliness of the matrix. You are above the silliness of the 3D. In other words, your feeling of isolation comes not from the spiritual awakening itself, but the ego trap that says, because I have awakened, I am somehow and on my way to being an ascended master. And there's not many ascended masters, right? So you are now at the top. They say it's lonely at the top, which is highly unfortunate, because spiritual awakening should not separate you from the rest of your people. In fact, it would be a terrible revelation if that's what happened. What should be happening, the revelation that should be had, a true spiritual awakening in the sense of a holistic mindset of it should be a way that ties you profoundly to the rest of your people. It doesn't alienate you. If you feel alienated, if you feel like you have somehow got the keys, and you're better than everyone else, and you're separate from everyone else, that's not oneness. That's not a spiritual insight. Spiritual insights take us closer to source. You know what I mean? Spiritual insights take us closer to oneness. Spiritual insights take us closer to the truth. And the truth is, you and I have far more in common than the opposite. So if you find yourself feeling alienated from the rest of the world because you have somehow found a new spiritual insight, your ego is setting you up for failure. You're just gonna keep having these dark nights of the soul. You're gonna keep having these mini deaths, these mini resets. You're continually going to have these woe is me moments. Born a King says in the comment section, the simple inherit folly, but the prudent are crowned with knowledge. I can get behind that. We'll go ahead and pin that. Born a King. Thank you kindly for that input, sir. Ether is a power and force that allows control over elemental cosmic, spiritual, transcendental, and primordial forces. Coming in with some heat today, I see. Born a King. At true spiritual awakening is when you have personally met an angel in the flesh with a profound message. I don't know if I can get behind that much of what you're saying, Born a King. I agree that that's part of it, but I don't agree that that's the limit of it. I don't think that a true spiritual awakening is when you meet an angel, because you'd have to define what an angel is. You'd have to define what a meeting is. Is meeting it in the dream world reality? Is meeting it with plant medicine a reality? You know, I hate to use absolutes in spirituality because there are very few absolutes. To say the only way to reach to have a spiritual moment is to meet an angel. I would say that's one of the things. I hope that doesn't come across as spiritual one-upmanship, as much as it touches on the fact that we live in an infinite universe, and therefore there are an infinite amount of ways, more or less, in which to achieve something. You know, for example, a native living in the Amazon rainforest. Do you think they would classify themselves as having met an angel and therefore they are spiritually enlightened? Like, they would have far different verbiage for it. They would have far different experiences. And if you were to ask them, how do you reach spiritual enlightenment? They would not use your words, though I do believe that they, just as equally as you and I, can reach spiritual attainment. You know what I mean? But thank you for sharing. Thank you so much for the thought. Thank you so much for being a part of the conversation. Yes, we are all one and no one better than the other. Helen Keller versus Traffic. God came to me last night and instructed me to get on my knees. Oh my goodness. We're gonna go ahead and hide that user on this channel. Oh, we need some Rusty Utter. Hello, Rusty Utter. I'm gonna add you as a moderator. There we go. Rusty Utter, you are now a moderator. In case something weird like that happens in the chat, feel free to do your thing. I believe we are all trying to make it here on this planet. Born a King, it sounds like you've met an angel. Born a King, it sounds like you have met an angel. I believe I've met an angel too. Not personally, but I believe I saw, or a demon. I saw something in the sky, otherworldly, with a friend of mine, and that was no craft. That was no UFO. That was no UAP. That was an entity traveling through the heavens, making itself known to my friend and I. What is truth? Is truth unchanging law? We both have truths. Are mine the same of yours? Rachel England. Hello, Rachel. It depends on who you ask. This is one of those questions. Truth as defined by the Hermetics, truth is there's only one truth. And yes, it is the unchanging law. So truth is the all, is God. It is the thing that we cannot define because it is above definition. Savvy? The all is above definition. It is above change. So that is the only truth. Everything that extends from that eternal conscious entity, name it what you will, anything outside of that is an illusion. Not to say that illusion isn't real to you and I. It's more than real to you and I. It's all there is to you and I. Just to say that everything extending from that is subject to change. So when the occultist, when the hermeticist has the conversation about what's true or not, the next question is, what's the circumstance? What's the nuance of the situation that you're in, so where you can call it true or false. Yes, brother, I have seen and had so many supernatural experiences, especially since my son passed. Oh, Born a King, I have a son of my own, and I feel your pain. I don't feel your pain. I can't imagine your pain. I'm fucking sorry that you have to go through that. My heart and my blessings go out to you, brother. I love you, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But back to the topic of this video, which is, if you're having if you feel isolated because you are all of a sudden awake, and you feel you're alone, that you're awake, then you're approaching spirituality in the wrong light. Spirituality should be approached in such a way that it shows you the relation of all things. It shows you the corresponding elements of all things. It shows you how life is nothing but a vibration stretched across existence, manifesting itself at different spectrums along the way, as light, as you, as me. That's the big vibration, right? We have the vibration of existence itself. When the vibration of existence itself coalesces, it coalesces into you, into me, into the earth, into a sun, into all the different realities. And then we have micro vibrations of, you know, the light spectrum. You have different frequencies of light, and that therefore you get infrared light, you get different colors. You change the frequency, you get blue. You change the frequency, you get red. You change the frequency, you get pink. So that's a microcosm of vibration, and that vibration stretches throughout all planes of existence. We learn this through the law of correspondence. As that's what it means. As above, so below. It means that you can have a vibration. You change the vibration. You change the physical representation. You change the actual representation of the thing, whether it's a vibration of sound, a vibration of sight, touch. The understanding should bring you closer to your people. It shouldn't take you further apart. Becoming more spiritual shouldn't make you feel more isolated. It shouldn't increase polarity. It shouldn't increase separation. That's not an awakening. An awakening doesn't make you feel more isolated from your brethren and your sistren. True enlightenment brings you closer to them. Differences in ideas is petty, because we all know that the main idea is love. We all know the main goal is love. The love of music, the love of your craft, the love of your children, the love of knowledge, the love of existence, the love of love itself, the love of just being alive, baby. More or less, when it all boils down to it, is that. So differences in politics and differences in everything else that comes up. The difference you feel between you and your quote-unquote sleeping brethren and sistren, useless. I wanted to make this video because I always see these videos pop up, and the video, I just saw one pop up. It was a live from a homie earlier, and it said, this is why you feel isolated when you go through an awakening. And I've seen that before, and I believed it before, but I thought, that doesn't sit right, man. That doesn't sit right with me. And so I meditated on it for a second, and I thought, you know what? Upon further inspection, if the goal of spirituality is the attainment of source, the attainment of Godhood, the attainment of where we all came from, that's not more division, that's reeling division back in. So why is it that I can experience something like a burst in spiritual growth, but feel isolated, when the whole point of spirituality is to bring things together? Knowledge, light cast into the shadow, shows us the reality of things, and the reality of things is, again, that we're more like each other than we're not. So why is it, what is that paradox that I'm seeing in the spiritual community that says, oh, you've awakened? Great. Now you're going to feel isolated. That does not compute. Of course, there's a micro and a macro, like I said earlier. The micro being, well, if you live in a home, right, let's take this down to the practical, the reality of a nuts and bolts situation. You live in a house with 5 people, and all of them are asleep and you're awake. So now So now you can't hang out with them anymore. You can't vibe with them. You can't listen to the same music. You can't eat the same foods. And so you feel isolated in that sense. But that shouldn't be an isolation that makes you sad. It shouldn't be an isolation that gives you an existential crisis like I see, at least online, of people with the woe is me mentality of I'm awake and now I can't connect with anyone and I can't find anything. And it just, there's a way to move through that. There's a way to move through that energy when we hold on to the fact that spirituality, enlightenment shows us that we are connected, and that's something we should lean into. Sir Man of Letters giving us this good. Oh, Don Coolio Swa, how's it going, brother? Thank you kindly. Thank you kindly. We'll make ourselves look cool. If I may be a little egotistical, I'm going to post that comment. Seeing the beloved in all life. Yes, Inara. Love your reasoning, brother. Yes, there is no higher vibration in the universe than love. I don't know that for sure. Because like I said, I tend to be naturally against absolutes, but if I was to get behind an absolute, love above all would be that one. Yes, I lost my son at age 19 from Babylon juice. Oh man, I seen him in a vision. He was amazing. I seen him in a vision, your son. Your son was amazing. He was radiant. Your son was glowing, about 50 foot tall, wearing a royal purple silk flowing robe. Yes, born a king. Yes, man. Oh, you're gonna make me cry, dude. Oh. It makes me so sad, but so happy at the same time. So happy that you can still have the love in your heart after something as traumatizing as that, because I don't know if I would have that. Being a father, I would be in a dark place for a long time. So hearing you say that, oh man, is your son is with you, and he's dropping that knowledge, baby, and he's showing you a strong reality, man. Your son's showing you a strong reality, brother. Rusty Utter, like a coil. I'm not sure what you mean by coil. What does a coil do? A coil springs? Were we talking about springing? What were we talking about that involves coils? Vortices? Were we talking about vortices? What were we talking about? No. I'm not upset. No, I mean, not upset in a way where I'm like, I'm not upset by what you said. I was reflecting. I got lost in the sauce of my own reflection of my own fatherhood, and I was like, wow, that is all the love to you. No, thank you for sharing, Born a King. Thank you for sharing. I'm happy that you shared, man. I'm fucking happy that you shared. I'm stoked that you're in a place where you can share and you can feel love from it and you can see something from it, because that's fucking powerful, dude. No, all philosophies, all spiritual jargon aside, all that aside, that's powerful, man. Energy and vibration, a coil. Oh yes. Is that making sense though? My son is speaking of children. Let's look at something. I don't know. He needs to turn that down. Atlas, turn that down. Where was I? Is that making sense though, you guys? Like, first of all, everyone slap the like button before I continue, so that we can break out of the matrix, so that we can grow the YouTube channel and build a pyramid or whatever it is. I don't know what we're gonna do when we hit our first 100K on YouTube, but it's gonna be cool, and you're all invited. Yeah, does that make sense though? You know, so here's what I'm trying to do. All the content that I see coming out of spiritual ideas, like the topic of, like, let me know, like, so I'm not talking to freaking myself here. You guys have seen the videos, right, of Oh, you're awakened now? Now you're feeling lonely. This is why. Is that my own algorithm that just feeds me that constantly? Or do you guys see that in the spiritual community too? I see it pop up every spiritual YouTuber, blogger, Instagrammer, TikToker. You go to a music festival, like a sort of woke music festival. I love them. I'm not hating on them. You hear the speakers at that, and it's always this idea of, oh, you're awake, and now you're somehow more isolated from the world than you were before. When have you guys heard that? Um, Goddess, essence, energy. Welcome, goddess. Peace, peace, peace. We'll throw the pieces up top. Yeah. I respect you too, man. I'm glad you came across us because my main goal here, and I'll say this until I'm blue in the face, is to create a spot where we can all hang out and find some respite and find homies and find a place where day after day we can enjoy company, good company, over a beer or over a smoke, over some oregano, over some thoughts, over some love, over some bonding, and just be a content creator who keeps it real as much as possible. And you know, it's all of us. That's the point being, it's about all of us. So I'm glad you found us, because it wouldn't be no me without y'all. So some people just rather be alone than be criticized. I would rather be alone, often not too. Could you go deeper into that, Rachel Stevens? What do you mean by being criticized? I'm not sure I follow with the criticized spot. Um, yeah, I see it in the community, but I also get people calling things different devil worship. I'm sure that throws people off. Yeah. Um, but I also get people calling things. Yeah. Have you guys noticed a rise in Christ in Jesus? N- Not also a rise in Christ in Jesus, but also a rise in condoning. Am I using the right word? Uh, and demonizing the spiritual community, like astrology, um, like the hermetic practices, for example. Well, that's the thing. I'm not sure because it's happened a lot to me with at least 3 or 4 of the people in my circle are like, you know what? I don't partake to the content that I used to, Keith. I can't have these conversations with you anymore because I'm down for Jesus now. Which I'm like, hell yeah, Jesus taught some powerful things, and they are still hip to, stuff like the law of vibration and correspondence, etc. So it's not completely, it's like an evolution of religion and spirituality. I'm not saying it's bad or good. I'm just saying it's noteworthy. You know what I mean? I might be that dude a year from now. Who knows? I might see Jesus tonight. You might be like, Keith, you've been talking shit this whole time. And I'll be like, Jesus, my bad, dude. I know I used you in analogies before, but I didn't think you would actually show up. Like, can I pack you a bowl or something, Jesus? I didn't. Like, you knew I was just joking, right, Jesus? Like, I'm a jokester, man. I was talking shit just for, like, my bad, my bad. So I might be that. Point being, I might be that guy. Um, the change is the only constant after all, right? Oh, what's up, birdie? What a beautiful bird just landed on that branch. It's all Jesus. See, if you would have sent a dove, Jesus, then I would have converted. If Jesus, you land a dove on that bird, I will convert right now, wholly and fully. That was a brown bird. I'm just see. I don't know where the line of blasphemy is drawn. I feel like Jesus would have a good sense of humor. At least as he was portrayed in the Bible, I get the impression that he would have a good sense of humor. I don't know. I hope so. Uh, I've heard that several times, not so much recently, but many people which you'd think would be the opposite, polarity in essence. Yeah. So before I'll read your comments before I digress too much. What I'm gonna try to do is, almost to a fault, whenever I come across spiritual concepts that I hear 1,000 times, because before it was like an egotistical part of me where I would say, wow, you're just regurgitating the same info just so you can get views. And it was a very bad place, but I can't shut that off. So what I'm gonna do now is when I see that, I'm gonna go, okay, I'm gonna tear this apart and I'm gonna reconstruct it. So I'm gonna see if it's true based on our teachings, or on my teachings, which is like astrology and not even astrology, Hermeticism, alchemism, Gnostics, and like that's it. Maybe a little bit of, I don't know. Point being, we're gonna revisit these topics and make sure that they haven't been oversimplified. That's what it is. I want to revisit these topics and make sure that they haven't been oversimplified, uh, and breathe some fresh life into them. Or maybe I'll stick with them. Maybe like, you know what, that's a good teaching. Run that verbatim. Anywho, so that's what I was getting at. We'll continue on. I spend so much time in solitude. I feel like I'm in a world alone. Just got evicted out of my apartment, now facing homelessness. But if you see me in during the day or whatever, but if you see me in during the day, I'm not sure you're trying to say, Don Coolio. But can I sprinkle some blessings on you? Can you hit some blessings, brother? Good luck, man. Going to play arcade games with my homegirls. You're gonna play arcade games? Goddess energy. What's cracking? What are you gonna play? I'm trying to play some games. I was going to be to myself, but that's so much needed. A community that feeds you versus starves you. Yes. Yes, there are scriptures and books that tell us these last days knowledge will increase. I hope knowledge increases during the end of times. What was Jesus taught? We can't discard what was. Oh, 100%. Rusty, 100%. Yes, since the beginning of this year. How do you guys feel about that? How do you guys feel about people dropping this sort of conventional spirituality? When I say conventional spirituality, to be a reborn Christian, I mean like The Secret and everything that came after it. The Secret, and then everything online that came after that. That's what I'm sort of chalking it up to. I know that's an oversimplification, but that's what I mean, for the sake of having a common ground. Going down that dark hole, I call it. And I'm like, how do you praise Jesus and say you don't worship a deity and still Jesus is a deity? That's yeah, who knows? We have to define what is worship. Like if I have a Kobe Bryant poster in my living room, is that worship? I watch his games, or I watched his game. I don't like basketball at all. I don't know why that came to my head. Maybe it's a sign. Anywho, let's pretend I was a basketball fan and I watched Kobe's games and I cheered when he did well and I prayed for him when he was doing bad and I was invested in his family to the point where his bad day was a bad day for me. Is that a form of worship? You know, who knows? Who knows? Maybe, yeah. I guess I would lean more towards yes. So I don't know. I don't want to. The reason why I'm not as outspoken on the born again Christians that I've been coming across this past year or two is because those born again Christians are taking a ton of their lessons from the past decade of this spiritual explosion, and they're taking it with them. It's this new hybridized hermetic, maybe it's like Gnostic. They're like Gnostic now. Is that it? That's what Gnosticism would be, right? It's basically the teachings of Christ, only believing that God is within, not without, which the Catholic Church did not want, because that meant, what's the use for churches? What's the use for priests? How can we get people to pay us if they don't need us? So they had to scrap Gnosticism. Like, get out of here with that. But that pagan stuff. What do you mean? We're all God. Get out of here with that blasphemy. Burn them at the stake. And they did burn them at the stake. Anywho, the born agains today seem to be that a little more on the Gnostic side of things. So I'm not hating necessarily. The only time I start hating is when they get like a little aggressive with it. A little aggressive. You guys know what I mean. You guys know what I mean by that. Conculio is haywire for me right now, but I'm also grateful because lowest place to end up here is 6 foot. Oh my goodness. Hey, come out to Southern California, bro. It's not 4 degrees outside. It's like, I think last night was 47, so you're chilling. It's 47. It's cold as balls out here, especially for us. But it's not no 4 degrees. If you guys are just coming in, hello, my name is Keith. We're doing some Arcturian channeling tonight, talking about if you have, if you found yourself isolated from the world upon having a spiritual awakening, you have in fact not had a spiritual awakening, because spiritual awakenings should show you the truth. The truth is, there is no spoon. No, I'm just kidding. Well, actually, I guess not, kind of not. That's perfect. It actually still fits. There is no spoon. There is no differences. So to wake up is to know that we're all one. To wake up isn't to go, oh, I'm now more isolated than ever. You know what I mean? It's a speed bump in the road. And now we're just talking about whatever comes up. Now we're just being homies. Everything is a spiritual awakening, even in the loneliness. I hear you, Rachel England. I do. What would have took us? I read took like Bilbo's mother, Mrs. Took, as one of the hobbits. I was like, took. What would have took us 25 years to learn a few hundred years ago now takes 25 days. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well said. Which means we just kill ourselves faster now. which means we now, instead of taking it another 1,000 years for humanity to end itself, it's only going to take another 1,000 days or so. All I hope is they keep looking. Christianity has many deities that a layman would consider a god. 100%, dude. Well said, a layman. Well, nice word usage. All I hope is they keep looking. So I don't want to speak too much on the Jesus thing unless you guys want me to. I don't know. I don't want to turn anyone off. I just want to turn you guys on. Bow, chicka, bow, wow. Sorry, I didn't mean that. Rachel Stevens, nice to see you. I forgot what I was even. I made a terrible childish joke, and now I derailed myself. I don't know what I was even talking about. Idolatry, deities. We're talking about deities as a god. I can't even remember. To my earlier say, if you see me during the day or whatever, you would think I'm okay. But good luck, Don Coolio, man. It's about to be 28 degrees. Dude, I wouldn't survive 28 degrees. You kidding me? I have no business being anywhere where it's 28 degrees outside. Unless I'm snowboarding. And even then, I'm like, no, I'm down for the cold. If I'm dressed well. Like, I would love to have a snowy Christmas. Like, I would love to spend Christmas somewhere where it's snowing with a fire, a wood fire, with a bunch of spare logs next to the fire, and toastiness and Christmas movies and stuff. I'm a sucker for that kind of thing, man. It's always been about the Messiah and his teachings. Don Coolio, homeless since 2020. You will find your way. Rachel England. Sounds like Rachel England's got you, man. There's a shift happening. I feel like I'm missing out. Having a good time holiday. I couldn't do because I had a child brought along. It's been 6 years. I haven't been. Well, find it, Don Coolio. Find it, brother. If you seek, you will find. Don't slip into the woe is me mentality. You got this, brother. Like you said, what used to take 25 years to learn, we can learn in 25 days. All right? So I know you're hurting right now, man, but don't forget the words that you just told me right now, which was, we can learn in a few weeks what used to take a lifetime, if that. There's things you couldn't even learn before. You couldn't even learn. You would be unalived if you try to learn some things that you could learn today on YouTube. All right? So don't spiral out of control, brother. Don't give up on yourself. Knowledge is king. Knowledge is king. Protect your spirit at all costs. Yes. Where you at, Rusty? Tell me where you're at, brother. I can't remember. Peace, everyone. Everyone slap the like button. We have 8 likes for 10 people in the room. That's wonderful. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. But yeah, don't protect. Protect your spirit at all costs. Born a king. Thank you, sir. Thank you for that. Protect your spirit. Let love in. Let light in. Find your people, man. Seek God, seek knowledge, seek wisdom as though your life depends on it. My mantra been, just keep moving, be authentic, show up, you will find your well. Yes, sir, yes, sir. West Virginia, out there in the Appalachians. Do you live near the Appalachians? Okay, Rusty, this is kind of a digression. Hello, everyone. I'm going to ask about monsters of the Appalachian Trail. Rusty, don't be holding out on any of the cryptozoology creatures that I know are running around in your backyard. Mothman, Bigfoot, sprites and elves. The missing 311 cases where the 4-year-old disappears and they find him like 15 miles away up a mountain. Like how could a 4-year-old have gone 14 miles by themselves in a day up a mountain? Don't lie to me, Rusty. Don't lie to me. I want to know all the stories. I want to know all the details. Are there vampires out there? Are there jinn out there? Are there ancient spirits from times of old in the Appalachians? You know, the Appalachians are some of the oldest, I think, don't quote me on this, might be the oldest mountain range in the world or something like that. Stories there are in the Appalachians. I've been diving deep down. If you can call it deep diving, more like deep entertaining. I've been entertaining myself hard on missing 311 cases in the woods and the history of America and what's been in America, man. What's been in America? There's a lot. I'm gonna go over here and turn the light on the porch because it's getting dark. Oh my God, Alice always locks me out of the house. Alice, open the door. Archie, turn the light on. Can you turn the porch light on, Bubba? Thank you, love. Can you close the door too? No, close the other door. I'm gonna stay outside. Close that door. Yeah, thank you, Bubba. You guys like our wreath, our maple leaf wreath, or our sycamore leaf wreath? It glitched. Elliot Vizina. Any full moon rituals? No, but I did set up another garden bed. I planted a bunch of stuff on the full moon. I planted some lettuce. I planted some giant Sapporo cabbage. And that's it. And some garlic. I planted some garlic. So I do plant stuff. When I do rituals, I do plant rituals for the most part. I'm a plant dude. I'm an earth druid. Earth druid life, whatever. Earth druid Arcturian here. I like the plants. And so I mess with the plants when I do my rituals. Did you, Elliot Vizina? Did you do any rituals? Myths are real. Myths are rooted in truth. I believe that. Did any of you guys see the Graham Hancock? How do you guys feel about the Graham Hancock documentary? Any of them? Tell me your thoughts on the Graham Hancock. Oh my God. The spiritual realm is all around us, like the air we breathe. Yes, sir. We are imprinted upon the fabric of the spirit. I left the beautiful islands of the tropical Caribbean to this chilly cold weather of the country for more, but it's taking its toll on me right now. I appreciate wisdom. Oh man, the wisdom ain't mine, brother. Don Coolio Swa. You dropped the wisdom of knowledge on us. I'm just reminding you that you is the king that you see us as. We thirst for truth. Now that the knowledge is out there, we'll change. I just did a video on thirsting for truth. Is it a thirst trap? Is truth the thirst trap for us esoteric folk? You know what I mean by that? It glitched out. I've seen some weird things in the forest and in the dark. But then again, a deer is capable of scaring the pants off of you. That's fair. That's fair. Rachel Stevens, hello. Hello, Dee Dee Bly. Nice to see ya. Hello. Oh, we got a bunch of the squad members in. Hello. Come on in. Take your shoes off. Stay a while. Sorry, I dropped my phone. But it's nice to see you. Oh, we have 11 people in the room and 11 likes. Nice. Well played, everyone. No more likes. No one hit the like button. Nah, I loafed. Was intending on doing a basic healing spell. Do you need something healing? We can do a quick, 12-second guided meditation for healing for you. If you need. I'm down for that. Big cats. Yep, I've seen what seems like spirits here in the forest. Oh my goodness. The woods are dark and full of spirits. All right, who knew? Healing spell. All right, you guys, we're doing a 12-second healing group meditation for Elliot. Elliot, you ready? All right, everyone, close your eyes. Visualize a. We haven't started yet. We haven't started the countdown yet. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath through your nose. Remember, we are which we practice. So if we're healing others, we're also healing ourselves. Imagine yourself surrounded by a ball of magenta energy, like your Goku going Super Kai. Red energy glowing around you. Now we extend that to the homie Elliot Vezino for healing. And I'll count to 12. I'll count down from 12, starting now. All right, there you go. There you go, Coolio. What's up, Shadow? Can you smoke oregano? Is that like a trick question? What do you mean? Is that like physically can I? Or are you talking, but you're also not talking about the oregano? Can you add some more detail to your question? Don Coolio, could you give me, I appreciate the code, but can you give me a little more code in the code so I can have a little more reference? Felt that oneness. You felt that oneness, didn't you? Me too. And we did it with the 1111 too, so that's some extra juju for you. What's up, Shadow? Nice to see you. Nice to see you, Shadow. Shadow. You guys remember that movie Homeward Bound? Did you ever see that movie Homeward Bound? One of the dog's names was Shadow. Shadow. Born a king, spirits and jinns like to inhabit empty, desolate places like deserts and abandoned buildings and forests and jungles. Would you call a jungle empty? Or is that how the Lord, or abandoned as far as humans go? Is that what you're getting at? They like to inhabit empty, desolate places, void of humans? I can see that. I can see that. Are you savvy in the way of the jinn, born a king? Don't be holding out on me, dude. Don't you guys be holding out on me on the mythological creatures. Hermes Trismegistus, the man, the myth, the legend here in the digital flesh. What's cracking, Trismegistus? Nice to see you. I love you, my brother. What's good? How you doing? I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. We are up $10,000 in our crypto account because crypto just exploded, and so we're all of a sudden not having to live off of rice and beans for my child and my woman and I. Because it was getting real. It was getting real. Yes, void of humans. All right, noted. Oh man, that's what I'm talking about, Shadow. That's why I make these videos. When you that comment right here, we're pinning that comment. It's good to be here, man. Well, it's good to be somewhere where the needing is good. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? It's good to be somewhere where the being is good. That's what I meant to say. It's good to be somewhere where the being is good. So thank you guys for helping me create the space. I'm doing great though. We got plants going. We got funds coming in. I'm gonna transform my front yard into a education center and start teaching children how to garden, teaching homeschool kids how to garden. I'm stoked. Life is good. Miss your videos, although definitely glad to hear your music has been vibing. Oh man, the music been vibing hard. Can you guys go listen to my music and add my music to your playlists? Because I put an enormous amount of this past year of my life into producing the tracks. I was playing music on the streets, trying to save up money to pay for the thousands of dollars for the tracks, just playing music on the streets to raise money for the writing music. And so if you guys want to support Man of Letters in our Down with Babylon, but in a different media through our music, then follow me, man. Go check me out on Spotify or YouTube or friggin' Apple iTunes, wherever, man. We're out everywhere. Dog movies. What's your favorite dog? What's your guys' favorite dog movies? Rusty, starting with you. Haha, I heard you said smoke oregano. Not sure why I thought that. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, definitely have oregano tea. We definitely partake in the oregano tea for sure. Not right now. Um, I mean, I'm not that I wouldn't right now. I'm just not right now. I be lacking on the gin knowledge. Enlighten me, right? Gin aren't one of my forte. I stick to like the. I'm Southwest America, so I'm California. I'm Queen Khalifa over here, so I'm focusing on the sea serpents and the chupacabra, and what else we got out here? The Wendigo and shapeshifters. That's sort of what we're working with out here. Unless those are also gin. Oh, we just got a donation of something. What did you donate? Dee Dee. Dee Dee, I love you. Thank you for the $5. Thank you so much for that. Call the Wild, a good one. Oh, thank you, Shadow. Call the Wild, is that your favorite? Is that what you're saying? I know it's mentioned in the Quran. I've heard Hermes was really the mighty Metatron, Holy Enoch, Kukulkan. Was it Kukulkan or was it Quetzalcoatl? And I was just watching it last night. Pomachu or Visacha, or the other one in Peru. It's all the same story, man. This dude shows up in a boat or a flying boat, flying either in a ship or a flying ship, and drops hella knowledge. So here's the thing, though. It depends if you're following the Emerald Tablets. In the Emerald Tablets, Thoth went to Egypt, the land of the hairy barbarians, Kem, the land of the burnt-skinned land. But there were people sent all over Atlantis, right? In the Emerald Tablets, they sent squad all over the planet. Thoth just happened to go west. So, you know, people in the spiritual community are like, oh, it's Thoth. He's all the same person. Quetzalcoatl, Hermes Trismegistus, or Thoth, or who was it for Sumeria? It's the same area. It had to be the same thing. I'm not necessarily convinced they were all the same people because, you know, it's just like if the world ended now and we sent out messengers across the world to spread knowledge, we wouldn't just send it to like Georgia. We would send it to Seattle. We would send it to Texas. We'd send it to Wyoming, New York. We'd send a ship out to Hawaii. From Hawaii, we'd send, you know what I mean? Righteous. Many more blessings to come. Namaste, Hermes. You taking off? Does that mean you're dipping? Sir Hermes Trismegistus, how have you been? What have you been up to, man? Good to be somewhere that's dude, oh. So, Old Yeller. Sorry, Balto. Oh, Balto's a good one. Okay, here's someone type in Keith G for me. Keyth space G. My name is Keith Garcia, and my stage name is Keith G. So just type in Keyth G into whatever, and I'll come up. I have some banger songs. You're gonna love them. I objectively speaking, put on a fucking beautiful show. Oh my god, trust me. I wouldn't have taken this much time off of YouTube if I wasn't killing it. We've been killing it. I'm setting up a tour the first week of March to go from San Francisco to San Diego. A little West Coast tour, spanning like 7-8 days or something like that. It's beautiful. We got a horn section. Oh, we have a beautiful horn section. Phenomenal musicians. I picked myself up this woman that sings an angelic harmony. Like our show is amazing, and each show is better than the last. And it's been hard to route myself away from that to come back to the YouTube channel. It has not been easy, and I love this space. I love what we've created here. I love conversations like this. I love hanging out with y'all and shooting the breeze and making a tavern in the middle of the jungle to keep the jinn at bay so we can all enjoy a merrymaking moment. You know, I love it. So that be that. Oh, 13. Now we have 13 people and 13 likes. I was born the 13th, so now we got another set of lucky numbers. I like it. Your reading of the Emerald Tablets is my favorite, bro. Oh, which one? Because I put out another one. And I put out a Latin one. I was so dedicated to the Emerald Tablets. I even put out an Emerald Tablets in Latin. Me and the boy, Agent Smith, I should invite him. He hasn't come on live in a while. But me and the boy, Agent Smith, put out Emerald Tablets in Latin, which is gangster. I look back on that video and I'm like, Keith, the audacity. Like the audacity of you to put out that video is noteworthy. Thank you again for that $5 donation, Dee. Thank you so much. I need all the support I can get. If any of you guys have the means and first the means and the motivation, and you want to support, you can too. Channel members, Rusty, I believe, is one of our channel members. He's got that cool little star next to his name. All of it helps. It all helps. Or Patreon, all of it helps so much. Thank you guys. Enoch is Metatron, according to Tex, and Thos was given the task of the scribe. Enoch and Metatron were both scribes, though, right? Enoch was a scribe. Metatron was the scribe of God. So I guess is what you're saying? That's a little more proof that they are the same person because they are all the scribe. I can get behind that. I like that. Ooh. May I be? I don't want to post that. That's getting too carried away. But I love that. Your way of presentation is perfect for the relay of the correct vibes of absorption. I like it. It's kind of like you gotta, when you're doing a detox, you gotta make sure you take your detox herbs first thing in the morning on an empty stomach so that there's nothing in there getting in the way of the information. You know what I mean? Taking off your hat. I can get a word for the road. Oh, you want a word for the road? Sorry, Hermes. I don't even know if you're still here. The bird. Hermes Trismegistus. The bird is the word. And I didn't mean this when I thought of it, but Thoth is an ibis. He is a bird, so you're welcome. Go with the bird, Hermes Trismegistus. A brown bird landed on a branch. Remember that peculiar brown bird? That might have been Jesus. Jesus was like, dang, bro, I sent you a bird, and you were like, nah, because it wasn't a dove. Like, you're done. That was your last chance, Keith. I'm out of here. Like, thank you for the good wishings. The bird is the word, Hermes Trismegistus, Hermes Thriceborn. The bird is the word. Go with God. Vas a Dios. Good evening, Stephanie Ramirez. Good evening. I suggest your channel to everyone. Oh, thank you, Shadow. Thank you so much. Oh, the soundtrack, I know. The soundtrack's like the ambience is my favorite part. My favorite part. Dee, can I thank you again? Can I thank you like every 2.5 minutes for the $5 that you donated, Dee? Thank you again. I love you. Thank you. Garcia is a professional basketball player too, I think. That's probably your family. It's, in a way, it is. In a way, it is. My blood last name is Williams, but Garcia is my papa that raised me. My blood. My real, it's hard to talk about, but you know what I mean. The ET readings are classics. ET readings? We have ET readings? What's an ET reading? Essene Gospel of Peace is absolutely amazing book. Should I read the Essene Gospel of Peace? That one's probably not too long. I can't imagine one of the Gospels being longer than like an hour to 2 hours recording. I could knock that out. Enoch was a messenger? I thought Enoch was a scribe. I thought they took Enoch into the spaceship so that he could write down everything that they showed him. Not saying that he's not a messenger, more so asking if it would be inaccurate to call him a scribe as well. Working on abundance for a while now. You're on my list of people to support because of your authenticity. Oh, thanks, man. Enoch was blessed. Who was Enoch in the Sumerian texts? Because you know how most of the characters from the Bible, if not all of them, are characters out of the Sumerian text, right? Like Noah, for example, was Eusidra from Sumeria, the dude who received the message to build a boat because there was going to be a flood for 40 days and 40 nights. That story came out of the Sumerian. That came out of the Epic of Gilgamesh, actually. We did that book on the channel. If you guys haven't listened to the Epic of Gilgamesh, go on my channel and check that out, because that's pretty epic too. The Epic of Gilgamesh has the original flood story. I believe it's Enki. Enki comes down, tells the homie in a dream behind some reeds, hey man, there's going to be a huge flood. You're going to need to build an ark, get some animals and shit, load them up. Everyone's going to die. So build that boat, do it immediately. Everyone's going to talk trash. They're going to make fun of you. Just tell them to kick rocks because you're going to have a boat. So he builds the boat. It rains for 40 days, 40 nights. He sends out some birds and shit. The birds come back with nothing. He sends out a dove, just like the Bible. Sends out a dove, comes back with an olive branch, just like the Bible. And he goes, yo, there's land because the bird brought back. Anywho, Enoch. Does he have a version in Sumerian? There was a point, maybe around a year and a half ago, where I was going to make it a point to learn all the pantheon of the Sumerian tablets and the stories, so that I can, you know, the Bible might have left out some stuff. There might have been some stuff lost in translation. And even the Colburn Bible has the story of the flood too. We did the Colburn Bible as well. So there's a lot of texts out there, and I like them all, because it's like, you know, it's like if you have a big old catastrophe, you're going to want to ask everyone who was at the catastrophe all their viewpoints, so you can really get a good grip on the catastrophe that happened. Which is why I like the Colburn and the Bible and the Epic of Gilgamesh and the story of Quetzalcoatl, etc., and Kukulkan, etc., because I feel like those are asking all the same people, yo, what happened? Everyone died overnight. Can you please tell me what went down? Sounds so funny when you say it out loud, dude. I need to read you guys' comments more often, because I go on tangents. We're a good hour into this live, which means it's tangent central. So if I'll try to check your comments more often, because I have no idea what you're talking about. I do think, Saint Germain, maybe. What about Saint Germain? Who's blessings? Good vibe tribe. Blessing shadow. We're gonna paste it. There we go. We're gonna go ahead and sort that out. Enoch was the first mediator between teammates and the Nephilim. What's this? Oh, peace. Thank you again for the $5. Tip, Didi. Of course, Shadow. Of course, man. I would say I'll do my best to be myself, but I'm not sure how much more can one. That's like a Lucy. That's like a thought on Lucy that just sends you spiraling. How can I be more myself? Enoch was before Sumeria and Assyria. All right, see, I hear you on that. Born a king. All right, I see you working. Oh, ET Emerald Tablet readings. Nice. I feel you. Thank you, Elliot. Yeah, sometimes I put my Latin Emerald Tablets video on just to be impressed with myself. I'm like, Keith, did you really sit there in your dark ass room, your dark ass mana letters cave, and out loud chant the Emerald Tablets in Latin for 4 hours? Did you really do that? I did do that. I swear to God, I thought that was video. I was convinced that video was going to hit 1 million views, because there's Emerald Tablet videos out there in the millions with ease, because it's one of those things that you listen to over and over again, and it's a hot topic in spirituality, and it just hits. You guys know, obviously, Emerald Tablets hits. Whether you think they're real or not, they hit. So it strikes a chord, baby. So I thought, yo, if I read this in Latin, give a nice little background tune to it, this is going to send people to the moon. and it didn't. I was so sad, but it's all good. But I see you, born a king. Enoch was born before Samaria. I see your studies when you say that, and I'm with you. I see your studies when you say that, and I'm following. I'm following. Yes, thank you for adding that. Born a king. He would preceded the flood, most likely. Enoch and Thoth were about the same time because Thoth would be the one who mediated between the Watchers. The Watchers. I struggle getting the Kolbrin in order, the way of presentation and so on. Sumerian and Assyrians was fallen angel posse. It's something I didn't hear was growing up, so I share it when I can. Thank you, Shadow. Thoth was the one that was part of the fall, delivered the forbidden sciences. Well said. That's just a theory. Thoth was supposed to come and go, reborn. As far as timelines go, you guys have gone down the forbidden archaeology rabbit holes, right? Where they find footprints alongside human bipedal footprints alongside dinosaurs that disappear into mountainsides because it's so old that the mountain has grown over the footprints. Like you guys have gone down those rabbit holes, right? Forbidden archaeology, stonework that looks like it's tens of thousands of years old. I haven't chronologically put the fallen angels, we'll call them Anunnaki, and modern man. I haven't put down that timeline myself. So, but I do think what we're talking about, like 200,000 years ago till now, civilizations having come and gone, deluges, great floods having come and gone, so to speak. That's a great theory though, Rusty. I like that. We couldn't comprehend the world before the flood. Not even Hollywood could recreate that story. Oh man. Could you, born a king? I think the door's open.
Thank you.
Buelo's home.
No.
Atlas, Buelo's home. Oh, what the heck? Yes, things only seen from space too. Things only seen from space too. Correct, correct. Stone body parts, Rachel Stevens. What? Rachel Stevens? I didn't know you got down like that. We talk about stone body parts. Phoenix phenomena? Oh my God. Do you guys think the UFOs are entities? Do you guys think the UFOs are entities? The reason why I ask is because the UFO I sold my buddy was zigzagging around stars, which makes me think that our sky isn't a sky, that our sky is like a computer set, like what would you call it? What movie is that? To Kill a Mockingbird, where the roof was a hologram, and when you hit the roof of the rock, you could see the framework of the hologram. There was this moment where me and the homies were hanging with Lucy Lou at nighttime, if you know what I mean. And when we looked into the sky, the sky was a grid, and the pattern of the grid was the flower of life. So if you can close your eyes, imagine a canvas, a painting, and the whole canvas was the flower of life, a grid of the flower of life, like a black screen, like the screen was black canvas, and then you took a glowing white paint, and on that black canvas you drew the flower of life. That's what the sky looked like. And the moon, the stars, the heavens, everything was looked like it was painted on top of that grid. And I was like, wow, that's probably the Lucy Liu doing, the Charlie's Angels things. But then when I saw that UFO, and I thought, the only reason something in the sky would be moving around the stars is if the stars were in its way somehow. So it had to move. If the star, if the stars are hundreds of light years away, then how could it be obstructed? You know what I mean? You would pass in front of it because those things are light years away. The only reason why the thing I saw flying in the sky and my friend saw flying in the sky, the only reason why that thing would fly around the stars, multiple stars it flew around, is if those stars were in its way, because it was like it was a two-dimensional plane. It was like the sky. This wasn't the Lucy Liu moment. This was a different moment. The only way that am I making sense? So what do you guys think? I bring this up all the time because I'm still pretty flabbergasted. I'm still pretty gasted, full of flabber. You know what I mean? Um, all we have are small stories here and there, hidden in ancient verbal history of the time before the last destruction. Well, then one of y'all astral projection masters need to astral project and shoot yourself to a pre-flood timeline and report back. This is why I get so upset with people who claim they can astral project at will. I call bullshit, because I'm like, you're not doing things. Uh-oh. Can you comment if we're still here? Because it says I need to reconnect. The Archons are on, dude. I gotta be careful. The Arctur. So I've been channeling the Arcturians. You guys keep telling me that I'm being myself, but what I'm actually being is a channel for the Arcturian Boots constellation. There's a star right in front of me. The only star I see in the sky, and it's got a glow around it, like a bright glow around it. It's got a glow around it as if the star was, as if there was a haze, as if there was overcast. You know, you see the moon, it glows because there's overcast in front of it, or something. That's how it's glowing. I don't know if you guys can see this, but you see that? Come on, focus for me. You see that? It like shoots up when I zoom in. Look at that. What the hell is that? That's the only one I see too. That's the star that's looking at me right now. It's going, Keith, I hear you talking about me. That's got to be Venus or something. That's got to be. That thing is crazy bright. It's got to be Venus. That's got to be. I think that's Venus. AKA Thoth. I think that's Thoth. It's got to be Thoth. That's where the sun sets. That's following the trail of the sun and the moon. So it's most likely Venus or Saturn. Maybe it's Saturn, because Venus is the first star at dawn, right? I'm getting my stars mixed up. When you're talking about Adam and Eve, they would have been about 120 foot tall each. Damn, the Earth is old, and the chronological timelines are all wrong. Sky Brothers. I'm pinning that comment. I don't know what it is, but something just feels funny about that. Not funny in like a silly way, but just Sky Brothers. Like, hello, Sky Brother. Can we refer to each other as Sky Brothers and Sky Sisters? Like from here on out, if we can remember. It doesn't have to stick. It'd be cool if it stuck. It doesn't have to. I'm not gonna push it too hard, but I'll plant the seed. I'll water it. If it germinates, it germinates. You know what I mean? Sky Brothers. I bet every mountain and stone was carved. Dang, Rachel. Right, so some UFO are spiritual, others are physical. One of the stars called me outside to show me its dance. Whoa. Literally danced around like a bumblebee for a few seconds. I asked it to do it again, and it did. It had me a bit shook. Shadow? What did it look like when it was dancing? Because when my episode I saw, the stars weren't dancing, they were twirling around each other. This square constellation was rotating. It wasn't dancing, it just all the four stars maintained they maintained the distance apart, and they all just rotated around each other. Wild. So I believe you, in other words. I have posted some footage to a brother called Abdullah Seer YouTube, seeing 3 chariots, broad daylight. Whoa. I've been extremely close to it. It's like a purple into black. That freaked me out more than flying. Wait, what, Rusty? What are you talking about? You've been extremely close to the The thing that flies that we're talking about, this star is bugging me out, dude. I feel like it's watching me. I feel like if I stared at it in a trance-like state, I could probably get some downloads from that star. You guys ever tried that? To put on some super hi-fi music? Not hi-fi, like high, like well. Oh no, we're having glitchy issues. The downloads are coming. See, like star's not glowing anymore. There's no ring around it anymore. Oh, crazy. I watched the Great Bull and Orion shift 45 degrees to the left. Right? That's what I saw too. It was like it was the constellation that I saw. I should have recognized the constellation. It wasn't an obvious constellation. It was four stars that made a square, pretty close to almost a perfect square, like a. It looked like the Big Dipper. It might have been the Big Dipper. I feel like that would have been more substantial, but a 360-degree rotation is what the Big Dipper did. Like imagine the four stars of the Big Dipper that made the square part, and then those four stars rotate maintaining their distance, rotate 360 degrees, and then end up in the original spot is what I saw. And my buddy Miles. I need to bring him on a live one of these days so we can talk about it because that shit was wild. What does it mean, squad? What does it mean, Sky Brother? What does it mean, Sky Brother? I sit with the stars every night. Amazing. Oh, dude, as you should. I haven't been, Shadow. And I apologize. Whoever you are, Star, I see you staring at me. I'm fucking sorry that I haven't stared at you every night like I used to. It's been years since I have. Forgive me. For I know not what I do. Or even worse, I do know what I do. Please still forgive me, even if I do know what I do. Wait, Rusty, you were a pilot in the military? No. Rusty, you were a pilot? Did I know this? Sorry. Let me catch up to the comments. I need to stop spacing so hard. Wow. Oh, enter user data. What's cracking, Fallout guy? On to us, bro. Watch out. Ice. What you smoking? Ice, Rusty. Okay, that's the Star of Jacob. It's common here. Oh, okay. It's not, dude. It's not at all. That the star isn't glowing at all anymore, you guys. At all, at all, at all. I'm probably being ridiculous right now, but it's not glowing at all, at all. Oh, Shadow headed outside to join in tobacco and coffee sesh. I'm not gonna lie, Shadow. Tobacco and coffee might be. I don't drink either one of them. I don't partake in either one of them habitually, even less tobacco, far less that. But the combination of those two are, I appreciate them. And at this time of night too, dude, I like your style. That sounds like a vibe. I wish I could join you. I wish I had coffee and an oregano or something. I wish. I don't feel like going inside. I feel like that would disrupt the flow, but burn an extra one for us. Motherfucker, that's the moon. That ain't the moon, dude. The moon is way bigger than that. He said, motherfucker, that's the moon. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. That's the moon. I'm all lit. Imagine me all lit. I'm like, yeah, that was the moon. That was the moon, wasn't it? It was not the moon, bro. It was not the moon. I see that too every night. It hasn't been seen since the last times of Yeshua. It is a Native American history, their extended family. Dude, dance for real, same color, yes, twirling, dude. All right. So, okay, I'm almost caught up to comments. Thank you. Big Dipper is out in the north when Orion and the Great Bull. So we were coming down the mountain, and we were looking the sun came up to our left of the canyon, so that was easterly, and we were looking almost southeast. We were looking about southeast. I would say we were looking about southeast. Whatever square-looking constellation is in the southeast, and it was warm at night, so that means it was summer. Whatever, and it was right before sunrise. It was like right before sunrise, probably about 5 o'clock in the morning, maybe. About 5 o'clock in the morning, southeast sky, in Santa Barbara, California. Someone help me figure that out. What square-ass looking constellation is happening at that time? So the Big Dipper is out in the north when Orion and the Great Bull are in the south. Orion is in the... So no, it wasn't the Big Dipper. Like I'm saying, I know that everyone knows the Big Dipper. I'm pretty sure I would recall it right. So it must have been something else. We'll get to the bottom of this. I was a soldier in the 82nd. So you saw stuff as a soldier, Rusty? I just finished crafting my chanupa and sit in prayer before sunrise and deep in the morning. Oh, beautiful, man. Many things download in those times. Many times I'm sitting with you reading. Oh, beautiful, Shadow. Oh, man. Sounds right, probably the Big Dipper. Okay, you're saying that you think it's a Big Dipper? Because I know Orion shows itself early nighttime. The Big Dipper ain't in the sky by the time sunrise is coming up. So definitely, or yeah. All right, I'll take your word for it. Just to call out, might have my foot in my yeah, sitting before sunrise is who was the dude that discovered didn't discover but made famous peanuts? He was the dude who made famous and cultivated peanuts at mass, and he got the idea because he used to go for walks before the sun rose, because he said that's when all the best he believed that the ideas were spread across humanity as they woke up in the mornings, and so he would go for walks before that to get all of his good ideas. I like it. I do. Wait, Rusty, you said you were oh, you were flying over Russia? What were you doing flying over Russia, brother? We weren't at war with Russia at that time. Am I mistaking you? Came back. I'm purple into black. That freaked me out more than the flying. Thank you, Peanut Man. All time of the year things. Gotta check it out. Yeah, I'll look it up. I'll ask ChatGPT, honestly. When do you guys have access to ChatGPT? I don't know how it does with dates. So let's see if we're having more stars pop up in the sky. When I end this live, I'll pull out my star map and see what planet that is up there, because maybe we should do some meditations tonight to sign. Thank you, Peanut Man. The ancestors, the U.S. here used to watch the horizon very closely. I do what I can to follow their example. Well, Squadron, I'm going to go inside. I'm gonna, don't judge me, but I'm gonna probably watch whatever cheesy new Christmas Hallmark movie's out right now, because The Matrix or something, I don't know, but I can't help it. I was going to Afghanistan. We landed in Kyrgyzstan, or however you spell it. The Great Bull is tail up in the east as we speak. The east is directly behind me, out my back door. My girl saw a cigar-shaped UFO when she was giving a yoga class in our backyard, and her whole class saw it. They all were like, as you would expect a full class of people to see a UFO. They were just wide-eyed, speechless. My girl she was like, get the fucking UFO, like, get over here. It was gone by the time I got back there. But the UFOs are active over here in SoCal, dude. Or the spirits, whomstivist ever they are in the skies are active over here. Oh, great to share some time with you guys too. Thank you guys for liking. Dee Dee, if you're still here, thank you for the $5 tip, man. We will never give up the dream of being self-sustaining YouTubers over here on our end, and your contribution does not go with Rusty Utter. You've been a channel member for years on this channel. I wish I could thank you more. Thank you so much. Shadow, I'd say even if you haven't done those things, it sounds like you've been here forever, and that's fucking thank you guys for everything. Dee Dee and I have a beautiful evening cheer. Next time we'll burn some trees. We'll burn some trees. I don't know if I'll have time tomorrow. We'll see. We'll burn some trees. We'll burn some trees next time, and we'll sit out here on the porch, and enjoy ourselves some evenings and stuff. You know what I mean? But yes, many lives. Bless up, aho, peace, tidings, and everything else. I'll see you guys soon. All right. Goodbye, brah. Goodbye, Sky brothers and sisters.